Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC Media News. Let's begin with the latest on the industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The federal government has now ordered vice-chancellors to reopen schools and allow students to resume lectures. This was made known in a letter signed by the Director, Finance and Accounts of the National Universities Commission, Sam Onazi, on behalf of the Executive Secretary, Abubakar Rasheed. The letter, which was addressed to all vice-chancellors, pro-chancellors and chairmen of governing councils of the federal universities, reads, quote, ensure that ASUU members immediately resume and commence lectures, restore the daily activities and routines of the various university campuses, end of quote. The National Industrial Court last Wednesday ordered the Academic Staff Union of Universities to call off its ongoing nationwide strike after the federal government went to court to challenge the strike. ASUU had since filed 14 grounds of appeal to challenge the order. Talking politics now, the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council has invited its 422 members for special prayer sessions at the campaign headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. According to a statement issued by the Council's Director of Media and Publicity, Bayo Ononuga, there will be a peace walk immediately after the prayers, and all nominees will be issued the letters of appointment same day. The special prayer sessions will officially kick off the Council's electioneering process for the 2023 presidential elections. The APC Campaign Council had on Friday night released a long list of persons to ensure victory for the APC, the presidential candidate Bola Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima. Chaired by President Muhammad Buhari, other members of the council are Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola, Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development Gbemisola Saraki, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, serving, and former governors, ministers, senators, among others. With just days to the commencement of the political campaigns across Nigeria, some chieftains of the All Progressives Congress in Bayelsa State have expressed confidence of victory for the party in the Presidential and National Assembly elections next year. The state party chairman, who spoke on the Muslim-Muslim ticket, stressed the need for the emergence of a southern president. There is more in this report.
With a densely populated Christian community, Bayelsa plays a critical role in the development of the nation by the first discovery of crude oil in commercial quantity and the emergence of former President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2011 general election. Although a PDP-led state, the massive support garnered by the All Progressives Congress at the last governorship election proves a source of confidence for party leaders who believe the same will be replicated at the general polls next year. The state chairman of the party, Dennis Otiotu, says Bayelsans would vote massively for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a southerner irrespective of the misconception of a Muslim-Muslim agenda.
They are ready to massively vote for Tinubu Shettima ticket. Tinubu is somebody who allowed his wife is a Christian, not just a Christian, she's a senior pastor in Redeemed Church. How many Christians can do that? Shettima, I have interacted with him and I see that he's one of the intelligent men living in Nigeria now. We need people like that to support the president so that things can function normally. Who cares whether we have a Christian ticket or a Muslim ticket?
Basing their belief on the pedigree of the candidates flying the flag of the APC, other stakeholders are confident of a landslide victory next year.
What we are talking about here is the ability to deliver. He said he's not applying for the job of a bricklayer. He's applying to be president of Nigeria. It's a thinking job, thinking and doing. The man is good, fit, strong to deliver service.
They have come to prove that this man have really built human capacity. He has built infrastructure in Lagos. Now, we want him to bring this, come and replicate this on the nation. And that is what we're expecting. And I believe strongly, when he wins, that is what he's going to do for Nigeria. Nigerians will be surprised.
While over 15 candidates have been confirmed for the presidential polls, the All Progressives Congress is leaving nothing to chance ahead of the elections next year.
Let's talk security matters. The police have pledged commitment to sustain the fight against oil theft and other crimes capable of sabotaging the country's economy. Inspector General of Police Usman Baba explained that the police would continuously develop an improved capacity of officers to ensure the menace is reduced to the bare minimum. A statement by the force public relations officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi assured that the police will not relent in enforcing all laws and statutorily empowered to charge all suspects arrested for oil theft and other related offences without any prejudice. Let's turn our attention to Kebbi State, where more than 50 communities and riverine areas of 4 local governments that suffered from devastating floods have received relief materials. The managing director of the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, Abubakar Sadiq Yelwa, says this move will cushion the effect of damages on houses and farmlands. We have more in this report.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET) had earlier predicted that imminent high-risk flooding is expected in some selected states across the 6 geopolitical regions of Nigeria. The agency also warned that above-normal rainfall conditions were expected across the northern state of Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Yobe, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, as well as Kebbi and Kaduna State. The agency also predicted medium-risk flooding in this state if drainages were not properly cleared and managed. Months after this prediction, over 27 out of the 36 states in Nigeria have experienced a devastating flooding. The National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA) says this has affected over 500,000 persons, with over 100,000 persons displaced. Kebbi State is one of the affected states, as over 50 communities in 4 local governments of Shanga, Kokobesi, Dendi, and Bagudo were affected. Thousands of hectares of farmlands, houses, and livestock were destroyed, with an unspecified number of lives lost. The Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission (HYPODE) is hoping to help mitigate this disaster by donating relief materials to affected communities across the 4 affected local government areas in Kebbi State. They also advise the community members to always yield to expert advice and avoid building on waterways.
These are the communities that have reported their cases to us, whose reports we have received from our state officers and area officers, and whom we have made adequate arrangement for medical intervention and material support and financial
flooding. Actually, this help that we have from them, we can only thank God and the organization.
Aside the relief materials, members of the affected communities also benefited from free medical examinations and treatment as a result of the shock many of the community members went through as a result of the loss they suffered.
As Zamfara state government is making efforts to attract local and foreign investors for economic viability and growth. Addressing newsmen in Gusau, the managing director of the State Investment Promotion Company, Anas Hamisu, says one major setback has been the issue of insecurity as it has affected the influx of investors to the state. Theophilus Darafai reports.
The state is blessed with natural and mineral resources such as gold and other precious stones. The natural resources, when exploited expectedly, brings in revenue that contributes to the development of local communities. But Zamfara has battled with security challenges for over a decade, not unconnected with the resources in its domain. The situation forced the federal government to place ban on mining activities in the state. But the state government, through its investment and promotion company, says effort is ongoing to secure the state, woo investors, and make it an investment hub for local and foreign investors. Anas Hamisu is the managing director of the company. He told newsmen that the company has commenced talks with foreign investors to come and invest in the state. This move is set to make Zamfara an outstanding economic center, not only in Nigeria, but in the entire African continent.
Zamfara state is having large deposits of mineral resources. Within which time did you know that the eyes of the international community and the people outside Zamfara state is on Zamfara state?
He adds that making Zamfara an economic viable state will help in creating job opportunities tackle insecurity, and in turn improve the state's internally generated revenue.
Zamfara State Investment is implementing the national identity ecosystem anchored by the National Identity Management Commission. We bought gadgets, we deployed, we created employment for our teaming youth, we deployed them to various local governments, various emirate councils to do that assignment of new enrollment, and that is generating money for the company. And from the projection, each and every month we can be able to serve 10 million in that very sector.
The agency will facilitate the establishment of a one-stop shop for all kinds of investments, where government would assist investors towards realizing their vision. The move to revamp the Zamfara investment sector will provide a platform for world-class business leaders and captains of industry to achieve the state's vision of becoming Nigeria's top investment hub. Saifullah Zarufai, TVC News, Gusau.
President Muhammad Buhari has returned to Abuja after his participation at the 77th United Nations General Assembly in New York. While in the United States, President Buhari participated in the 77th session of the UNGA, tagged "A Watershed Moment, Transformative Solutions to Interlocking Challenges." The president delivered his address on the second day of the general debate last Wednesday. He also participated in the high-level meetings and side events, including the Nigeria International Economic Partnership Forum. The president held strategic bilateral meetings with some participating world leaders and heads of multinational organizations. Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has called on Nigerians to deploy a more proactive approach in confronting the challenges facing the country. Speaking at an event or at an Independence Anniversary Thanksgiving service in Owerri, Governor Uzodinma expressed hope that the nation will surmount all challenges despite present setbacks.
We must stand up as a nation to tackle these challenges that is retarding our progress, to understand the meaning of collective interest, because we seem to be interested in our personal and individual interests. But what drives a nation is the collective interest. How many of us are interested on how Nigeria can be better? And if we are, what have we done in that direction?
Apart from the blessings of natural resources, we have also tremendous human resources, a growing population that provides a strong labor force with some of the best brains anywhere in the world. Nigerians in foreign lands are making noteworthy contributions towards world progress. As we thank and glorify God for His many blessings, it is worthwhile on our 62nd anniversary that we pause for some sober reflections.
In Lagos, more youths and women in Lagos Central Senatorial District have benefited from a skills acquisition program organized by Senator Oluremi Tinubu. This time, 250 beneficiaries were selected within the district and a grant of 100,000 naira given to each of them to support their businesses. Abim Bolagbebi has the story.
As an advocate for vocational education and empowerment for both young and old, Senator Oluremi Tinubu has over the years facilitated different empowerment schemes for widows, petty traders and youths within a district. This time, the gesture has been extended to more women and youths.
It's going to impact my life because with this knowledge, I'm going to start up my own business of my own to support my family and to the community.
To help me to not depend on other people and then to progress.
To make sure she touches the grassroots. She touches the grassroots and she has empowered so many people.
The beneficiaries were not only trained in various vocations, they have been assisted with a sum of 100,000 naira to support their trade.
Mommy does not know any of them. It's not as if she has special people or she gives preference to people. That is what she usually tells us, that I don't know them, you are the ones that knows them. So bring them for me and I'll empower them.
Empowering is our constituents on various empowerment trainings and also giving monetary awards to the beneficiaries.
With more women assisted, Remi Tinubu believes that more families have been empowered and the chain of poverty reduced.
Giving us encouragement that we have to keep empowering our constituents. And if we keep doing this, no matter what, some of them will go on to do exploit with it. So they are quite excited. And the crop of people I see here today, I believe that they will make the best use of it. The quality of the cake they made is really, really nice. Really nice. They presented one to me today and I'm quite impressed. In such a short time, if they can do things like this, the sky is the limit. They will become employers of labor themselves and, before we know it, everyone will be smiling to the bank.
Senator Remi Tinubu is determined to continue to improve the quality of life of our people by making them self-reliant through initiatives like this. Abimbola Agbibi, TVC News, Lagos.
In a bid to reduce the level of poverty in the society, an umbrella body for Muslims in the southwest, the Muslim Ummah, has commenced plans to make youths more engaged, especially in Western education and skills acquisition. Senior correspondent Adedoja Salamadini reports.
The program attracted not only Muslims from the southwest, but other parts of the country.
You're most welcome, Your Excellency.
Their coming together is clear to better the future of Nigeria. After donating to the common goals of reducing poverty amongst the Muslim youths, the faithful said youth engagement would also improve security in the country.
Donate to this cause because you are helping humanity. This is a project for the Muslim Ummah, not only of Southwest, because a lot of people will definitely benefit from it.
Part of what Muslim wanted to do is to help our children to have access to decent education, even if they are poor, irrespective of your background.
There is so much hunger, there is so much anger, there is so much violence. No amount of investment in arms and ammunition can reverse the trend. The only potent weapon against this is to educate the people, to enable them to be able to provide for themselves.
As 2023 general election draws nearer, Lagos State Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat also used the occasion to charge Muslims to investigate their candidates in order to make right choices.
Let's look at the right candidate that can develop this country. So it's not a question of Muslim, this, what. No. When you go for surgery, you don't ask your doctor if he's a Muslim or a Christian. You go to look for a good doctor. So you need somebody to manage our economy. We need experienced people that understand financial engineering, that can bring about the type of wealth that we need in this country.
Right from inception, Moswen was determined to embark on programs and projects that will engender progress and development for the Muslims of southwest Nigeria. Adedoja Salamadini, TVC News, Lagos.
And in Oyo State, the government has advised those aiding the act of underage gambling to rethink or be ready to face the law. Director General of the State Gaming Board, Olajide Boladuro, made this known at an interactive stakeholders forum in Ibadan. Olaido Yowole reports.
According to statistics, close to 60 million Nigerians between the ages of 18 and 40 are involved in active sports betting, spending close to 3,000 naira every day on bets. Reports also show that Nigeria, with $180 million revenue on sports gaming, ranked second in Africa after Egypt, which made up to $286 million in the revenue generated from sports gaming in 2018. In Nigeria, despite the law against underage gambling, the act remains prevalent. At the stakeholders forum, the Oyo State government says there are stringent penalties for whoever gets involved in the act.
And I also want to use the opportunities to tell our parents and guardians that they should not give numbers or tell our kids to go to a gaming house to go and play a particular number for them or whatever, because it's against the law. There's a 3-year prison term and also a 500,000 naira fine for all operators that we find doing this, not only playing, even employing.
That needs to be done in the sector.
Earlier, the secretary to Oyo State government says although underage gambling is prohibited, but it is not against inclusiveness in the industry.
As we brainstorm today on ways to improve the economy of the state and the growth of the gaming industry, I invite you to embrace the tenets of inclusiveness in your business and to continue to support the good work of His Excellency, Governor Seyi Makinde.
You know, to have all their senses and their physical parts of the body, you know, 100%, you know, it's still also, you know, good for us to focus on people who have one form of disability or the other because they are an integral part of, you know, our communities.
The program was the second edition of its kind in Oyo State. Oladio Yewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
And outside Nigeria, at least 13 persons have been killed and many others injured after a gunman opened fire at a school in central Russia. A statement by Russia's investigative committee disclosed that 6 adults and 7 minors were killed, while 14 children and 7 adults were injured in the school in Izhevsk. Reports say the gunman killed himself, as the motive for the attack is still unclear. Staff and pupils have been evacuated from the school buildings. The school is in the center of Izhevsk, which is a city of about 650,000 residents close to central government buildings.